So after gaming with this Microsoft headset for a couple years, I finally couldn't take it anymore. That little sponge earpiece started to really kind of wear down both my ears. So I switched over to the Plantronics earpiece, and although I loved it for a little while, my friends started complaining about the sound that was coming out of it. So I said, screw the earpieces, I'm going with headphones. So I started doing all the research, and I came up with 3 big questions you have to answer. First off, cost. That is, do I get 5.1 surround sound super immersive headphones, or do I go the more affordable stereo, just basically left and right? Do I go wireless, or do I go wired, which will have better performance, but you'll be tethered down by wires? And do you get headphones that are specific to a gaming system? Do you get ones that are specifically for an Xbox or PlayStation, or ones that play on all of them? That led me to a decision, ran down to Best Buy, and I grabbed the Trittons. Primarily because they work with all game systems. They are wired. These are not the 5.1, these are both stereo. This one's digital, this one's analog. So let me do a quick overview for you. So first up, I'm going to talk about the AX720. So this is Tritton's mid-range. It's not quite the 5.1, but it's not the analog stereo ones. I got a little trick though. The packaging does say Dolby Digital surround sound, but it is just stereo sound using a digital signal. As you can see with the packaging, it does the PlayStation 3, it does the Xbox 360, and it works with a Mac and a PC as well. It's got a pretty complicated setup for each system, so I'll show the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox setup just so you know what you're getting into. So the AX720 headphones are actually a really beautiful design. They're white, they're heavily padded on the top and on the earpieces. They have this adjustable boom mic, which is actually removable if you want to use them as just a normal pair of headphones. They have a 13-14 foot cable attached to them for the sound. Also attached is this dongle device here. This has separate volume controls on each side, one for chat, one for game volume, so you can adjust it in case you want more sound from the game or vice versa. And what differentiates it from the 180s I'm going to get to in a second is the digital decoder device. This is what you send the fiber optic digital signal into and then pumps it to the headphones. But this is also where it gets a little crazy with the wires. So first off, I'll use an Xbox 360 as the first demo. You need to take the fiber optic, plug it in to get your digital device. You need to plug the headphones into this. Now there are 2 inputs, so if you have a friend with the same headphones, they can join into the game as well. You need to take your Xbox controller and plug the little aux plug here for chat. The other end plugs into this dongle. And of course you need power, so from a wall socket into the decoder. As you can see, it gets a little crazy with wires. For the PlayStation 3, basically, because the chat system's different, you don't need this cable to the controller, so you can lose that. But in fact, you have to attach a USB device from the decoder to your PS3. So, to put the 720s and the 180s through their paces, to find out about comfort and performance, I did some really late night gamings. I did Uncharted 2 on the PS3, single player and multiplayer, and then on the Xbox 360 I did the co-op multiplayer and single player on Modern Warfare 2, and as well as the Borderlands. I gotta say the performance was phenomenal. Now, these aren't game-changing, like a 5.1 would be where you might hear the footsteps come up from behind you in the multiplayer games, but as far as epic sound, Uncharted 2 cinematic, these headphones on, wow, I was really into the game. Comfort-wise, felt really good the first couple hours, but as I got into the 4th and 5th hour, I actually felt it kind of pushing on my jaw, and of course I'm sitting there talking my butt off. So, I don't know if they're an all-nighter game headphones, at least not for me because I have a huge melon. But for the first couple hours, every time I sat down, fantastic. So, a quick review of the AX180s. Now, this is the little brother to the AX720s. Much like the 720s, it works on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and a Mac and a PC. But it actually also works on the Wii, unlike the 720. Another big difference is, as I just showed you, the 720 has a digital decoder, so it uses the fiber optic outputs of your gaming systems. This actually uses the analog outputs, which is the red and the white, the stereo. Now, it's actually not a bad thing, because it sounds really good, and it reduces the complexity of the wires by a little bit. So, let me show you a couple little details of these. So, the AX180 headphone design, different than the 720s, smaller and lighter, which is not a bad thing. The headphone padding here is a little bit different, it's squishier material than it is on the 720s. The inner material here seems to be identical. The boom mic is actually this kind of trick metal bendy thing here, where on the 720 it's more of a thick rubber. They share a similar dongle here that has separate dials for game sounds and voice chat. The big difference is how it's powered. Unlike the 720s that needed to actually be plugged into a wall socket, this just has a USB input. So this plugs into either the PS3 or the Xbox 360. To get sound to them, they have these really trick male-female composite cables here. So you just intercept the red and white audio from your TV, plug them into here, and then it plugs directly into your television, so you can still have the game sounds going through the TV when you want TV speakers, or it goes to the headphones when you want to use the headphones. So, the performance and comfort of the 180s. The best way to explain it is in contrast to the 720s. They both have trade-offs. The comfort. I loved gaming with these. 5th or 6th hour into gaming, no problems, no soreness, no earaches or headaches. I absolutely loved these. From a performance standpoint, they were really, really good. Not as good as the 720s, and this is the best way I can summarize it. You're in your car, you're listening to an FM station, and it sounds phenomenal. That song just rocking through. Then you have that song on CD, you hit play on the CD, and it just sounds a little more crisp, a little more clear. That digital sound, that's what the 720s provide. It's just a little bit better, a little more dynamic, but if cost is an issue, you cannot go wrong with these 180s.